Now to our world lead today. A top counterterrorism official in the U.S. is now saying that recent anti-Muslim rhetoric is making his job and the work of his colleagues more difficult. Let's bring in CNN's Jim Sciutto. And Jim, this official specifically referenced anti-Muslim remarks by President Trump.
That's right. This is the head of the NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center. That's the intelligence agency charged with preventing terror attacks on U.S. soil. And while he didn't say it was one particular tweet or one statement, I was very specific with him. I pressed him. I said, are you talking about Trump's, for instance, travel ban, Muslim-majority countries? Are you talking about that kind of thing included in here? And he said very simply, yes, that makes my job more difficult. He went on. He said, I don't think it is arguable it's more difficult when the environment is contaminated by mutual suspicion. If you're increasing the amount of suspicion and distress on these communities, it places more challenges in our way. To be clear there, when he's talking about these communities, of course, he's talking about Muslim communities, and he, like many other law enforcement officials, will make the point. We need these communities to give us information to help identify these people. And he was very clear here that this kind of rhetoric, these policies as well, make that job more difficult.
And he's on his way out the door, though, we should note. I mean, this is a comment he might not make if he still had, like...
No question. He's a very careful, very apolitical guy. He's on his way out of the door, but keep in mind, after serving really nearly a year under the Trump administration, having served a slightly longer time under the Obama administration. He's out the door, but not within 24 hours of the inauguration. Right?
But it struck you. I mean, you thought that this was notable, a Trump administration official saying the president's language makes fighting terrorism more difficult.
Absolutely. And to be clear, pressed him 3 or 4 times on this to make sure we knew what he was talking about here. And he's not alone in saying this. You'll hear others. I spoke to the Manhattan District Attorney 2 days ago who made a similar point. So the folks on the front lines of terrorism worry that this makes things more dangerous.